Now at 6, another round of storms heading our way. Most of the weekend could be a washout, and get ready for cooler temperatures. We are tracking the timing of it all.
I'm Michelle Choi near Porter, where neighbors say a protected bald eagle nest that's been part of this community for years is now gone. The tree at Satin was chopped down sometime earlier this month, and tonight the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service confirms there is a criminal investigation underway. We're hearing from neighbors who believe this wasn't an accident, and from a conservation expert on why losing a nest like this is such a serious concern.
Also, neighbors describe the moments after a 7-year-old riding a bike is hit and killed by a driver on Thanksgiving morning.
Live from KHOU 11, your news starts now.
Thanks for joining us on KHOU 11 Plus on this Black Friday. I'm Len Cannon. We start with breaking news tonight. There's been an officer-involved shooting. A suspect is dead, but officers say the man didn't die at the hands of police, but from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. It happened this afternoon on East Cross Timbers near the Hardy Toll Road in Northeast Houston. Our Matt Doherty is there live tonight to explain exactly what unfolded here. Matt?
Len, police are telling me that this is called sympathetic fire. It happened in that underpass just over there. Investigators cleared the scene about 15 minutes ago. Now, earlier this afternoon, Houston police say a man allegedly stole a family member's vehicle and a gun. They say he wound up here at the intersection of Cross Timbers and West Hardy Road and was holding the gun to his head. Police say officers surrounded the man with their guns drawn. Then they say the suspect shot himself and at the same time was shot by an officer.
At the exact same moment that he shoots himself in the head, the officer shoots him as well at the exact same moment?
Correct. It's something called sympathetic fire that sometimes due reaction of someone shooting a gun while you're pointing a gun at someone, that can happen, yes.
Police say they're continuing to investigate what happened. They say there is video of the incident. Police are telling me that the officer had been with the department for 2 years. We're live in Northeast Houston this hour. I'm Matt Doherty, KHOU 11 News.
Tonight we're hearing from neighbors who called 911 after a 7-year-old boy was struck and killed by a man driving a truck while riding his bike on Thanksgiving morning. It's a story we first brought you here on KHOU 11 Plus. A witness telling us the driver who hit the boy did stay on the scene and was very emotional after realizing what had happened. This happened along Willow Glen Drive near Herschelwood. This is in the South Park area of Southeast Houston. Jason Miles with the follow-up tonight.
We watched this woman tie a small remembrance to a utility pole today near the spot where a 7-year-old lost his life on Thanksgiving morning.
Experiencing something like that and seeing his little face, it was just hard.
Neighbor Ebony Brooks called 911 after her daughter August heard the apparent accident, then saw the approximately 70-year-old driver panic.
I was just sitting outside and then I heard the bike scraping under the car, and he had stopped to get out to see what was under the car, and then I don't think he realized he hit the kid. So when he looked down the street and he saw the kid, he started screaming like, "Help, somebody help, please."
He was frantic and he was like, I didn't see him, I hit a kid, please, somebody could help him, please, somebody help him, someone call 911.
Houston police told us the driver remained on the scene and was cooperative as officers began their investigation after EMS declared the little boy deceased.
They did check him, and when they pulled that sheet out, that was the hardest part, because you're like, this is somebody's baby.
We learned today that the boy, who Brooks did not recognize, may have lived elsewhere in the neighborhood. So far, we haven't gotten any updates from police on potential charges, but they initially said speeding did not appear to be a factor. In Houston, Jason Miles, KHOU 11 News.
Neighbors near the Montgomery County town of Porter are outraged tonight after a protected bald eagle nest was destroyed. The tree holding the nest was cut down earlier this month. Now, U.S. officials, Fish and Wildlife officials, confirm there is a criminal investigation underway. This happened in a wooded area just west of Porter near Highway 99. Michelle Choi hearing from residents there tonight.
In the small forest behind their homes, residents Roxanne DuMichel and Allison DeShero say this is where a massive tree once stood, home to a protected bald eagle nest for years.
This is the tree.
This is the main tree that they were in. It was an incredibly healthy tree. It stretched above all of the other trees. It was the highest one in the area.
They say it was the only tree cut down in this wooded area, along with a smaller tree intertwined with it. Coming back here and seeing this destruction, what's going through your mind?
It's anger. It's sad for the eagles, of course. They don't know. You know, they fly back and they don't know where their home is. That's been here for years.
Why speak out?
Because in my opinion, this is a crime. We knew that this nest had been documented. We knew that these eagles return to this location every year.
The women say they reported the active nest to wildlife officials more than a year ago.
The Fish and Wildlife was contacted and they came out and they did a report and investigation. I believe they were going to notify anyone that had any business with the land to understand that that you can't get around this area of it.
The last time they saw the eagle pair here was November 8th, just days before the tree was cut. You both speculate that this was a targeted job.
Absolutely. I mean, no other trees were touched.
What did these pair of eagles in this nest mean for this community?
They were family. It was something that individuals, couples, families, we could come out and see it. It's something that's so rare in this country. We felt very privileged to have them in our community.
Under federal law, bald eagles, their nests, and nesting trees are protected. And a Texas Audubon biologist says a structure this size would be hard to miss.
So it's one of the largest structures you'll ever encounter made by any animal out in nature, so it's pretty unmissable.
And while eagles can rebuild, losing a nest can set them back.
Birds are pretty adaptable. They'll probably be able to find a new nest site, but it certainly might cause them problems. Maybe they have to skip a nesting season because it takes a long time for them to build a nest.
Neighbors believe the same eagle pair is now rebuilding about 100 yards away after multiple recent sightings. Did it bring a smile to your face knowing they're okay?
For sure, yeah, for sure. At least they have, the chance, the opportunity to maybe continue on, and have their eaglets this season. We're hoping. Maybe it's not too late.
In Porter, Michelle Choi, KHOU 11 News.
Oh, thank you. What a spectacular day to get outside and do just about anything on the start of this holiday shopping rush. But things take a turn tomorrow as a storm will bring in rain. Kim Castro in for David Paul tonight. Hello, Kim.
Hi, Lynn.
How soon will the rain roll in?
Oh, the later on in the day that we go tomorrow, the worse it's going to get. So we've called for an overall Saturday weather impact alert day because I want you to be aware, even starting off in the morning, you'll have an isolated chance for a few showers. Notice the rain potential even through the afternoon is less than 20%. But as we head into the evening hours, that storm potential builds and builds even into the overnight. In fact, that's when I think the main line is going to be dropping through the I-10 corridor and working its way down the coastline. So here's what it looks like on Future Track. If you're up early tomorrow morning, which I will be as we're prepping for the Chevron Marathon, you are going to encounter quite a bit of cloud cover, lots of humidity and some heat, and just an isolated shower chance. That pretty much is the picture through your 4 o'clock. By 5, 6, 7, a couple of storms building in ahead of the main line that drops down in the evening. So what did you have penciled in late on your Saturday? You might want to postpone that. We're talking about some pretty loud thunderstorms with the threat of lightning and even the potential of them turning severe. Notice it takes a few hours for that line to clear the coastline. By the time you're waking up on Sunday, the threat is gone. For now, the potential for severe storms remains low. It is a 1 on the 1 to 5 scale, but any of these severe components are on the table, so we could see some strong wind gusts. We could even see an isolated hailstorm, and I can't rule out the possibility of even a spin up, especially out ahead of the line. So during the evening, 7 and 8, I know a lot of people have plans tomorrow night. For example, there's the beautiful tree lighting at the post. So that's something that I'm going to be watching really closely on radar. Make sure you've got a way to get those alerts sent straight to your phone. Just turn on the notifications. Flood risk for tomorrow also on the table. It is again on the lower end, marginal. It's a 1 on the 1 to 4 scale, but we could encounter those heavy downpours that do lead to some localized street flooding issues, Len. So lots to talk about when it comes to Saturday. I'll show you next week, which will be pretty chilly when I see you back here in a few minutes.
Looking for the update. Thank you, Kim. Right now, Houston police looking for 2 suspects following a deadly shooting in Southwest Houston. Investigators tell us a brother and sister were shot after leaving a nightclub. Tracy Bragg has the latest, including surveillance video of that shooting.
Houston police tell me right now a woman is fighting to recover after she and her brother were both shot in this parking lot at the intersection of South Post Oak Road and South Willow Drive just after 4:30 this morning.
As of right now, I'm told she's in surgery.
Detectives tell me her brother was also shot and sadly later died at the hospital. Take a look at this surveillance video I received from a nearby business owner who asked not to be identified. It shows the tragic moments unfolding. We're stopping the video just before the shots were fired. Detectives say the woman and her brother left Hell 2 HTX Nightclub across the street.
They were leaving the club across the street, coming to overflow parking in this parking lot. Looks like there was a verbal altercation with two black males, and then the shooting immediately started.
Investigators tell me the two suspects drove away from this parking lot in a white four-door sedan. They tell me right now they're working to track down that vehicle. If you have any information, you're asked to call HPD immediately. Reporting in Southwest Houston, I'm Tracy Bragg, KHOU 11 News.
The man accused of shooting two National Guard members in D.C. is now charged with first-degree murder. Prosecutors say 20-year-old specialist Sarah Beckstrom has died from her injuries. She and 24-year-old Staff Sergeant Andrew Wolf were shot Wednesday just a few blocks from the White House. Investigators say this is the suspect, Ramanala Lakhanwal, drove across the country, according to investigators, to carry out what they call an ambush. President Trump saying online he'll now pause migration from third world countries and remove anyone he calls, quote, not a net asset to the U.S.
Do everything in our power to seek the death penalty against that monster who should not have been in our country.
Investigators still trying to figure out a motive for this shooting. Coming up, switching gears from Turkey Day to Black Friday, we are talking to shoppers on the prowl for savings, and we have some helpful shopping tips during the holidays. Don't miss it. Friday is off and running with shoppers stalking deals and retailers rolling out their biggest sales. KHOU 11's Jalissa Garza takes us inside the stores to show us what people are finding and how they're staying smart with their money.
Here at Academy off the Southwest Freeway, shoppers have been coming in all day looking to snag a deal. And we've got some tips to help you make sure you keep your budget in check as you shop this Black Friday.
It's the same for us every year. We're all pros at it. We've been doing it for a long time. Black Friday is a holiday tradition many Americans still look forward to. And even with more online shopping, retailers say there's something about being in the store.
There's something like traditional to being in the store and touching it and feeling it versus waiting for mail to come in.
We even met a first-time Black Friday shopper, and she made sure she was the first through the doors at 5 a.m.
I need the one safe box, and original price is $1,000. I came here Wednesday and I checked the price and what I want, and today I buy it for $460.
The National Retail Federation says about 187 million people will shop between Thanksgiving and Cyber Monday. Still a huge number, but slightly lower than years past. The average shopper is expected to spend around $622, down about 4% from last year. Bank of America also says 90% of shoppers plan to hit discount retailers, and nearly half say they'd even consider buying a dupe, a lower-cost lookalike, to save money. So, how do you stay on track and budget while you shop? Experts say it starts with having a plan, including what they call the 1% rule.
Take 1% of your annual income and make that the ceiling, so the upper bound for the entire season. If you make $70K, that's $700 for everything. So for gifts, travel, food, hosting.
Now, stores will still be open throughout the day, so there is still time for you to go out and shop and find what you need. Reporting in Houston, Jalissa Garza, KHOU 11 News.
I don't know if it would have mattered with the weather, but it was outstanding weather for shopping or anything else.
I know.
What is it called today? Black Friday. And,
yes.
And what about Small Business Saturday?
Unfortunately, Black Friday was so great that I did a little too much.
Oh, really?
Shopping.
Okay.
And for everybody going to Small Business Saturday, the first part of the day will be very shopping conducive as well.
And then
things turn stormy. So pencil in your weekend plans Sunday. And for Saturday, do it early on in the day for the morning and the afternoon. It's mainly just going to be pretty soupy outside, so humid, there's cloud cover, there's more heat. You'll notice those temperatures are going to quickly climb into the 70s, and they'll stay there pretty much all afternoon. And then comes the storm potential that really builds in late night and continues into the overnight. So if you had something that you were trying to do tomorrow evening, try to push it to Sunday. By then, it'll be much more comfortable. Not only will you be able to drop the umbrella, but you'll also be able to enjoy some of the cooler air that settles in behind the storms that roll in on Saturday. Yes, we are under a weather impact alert on our Saturday for the threat of an isolated tornado, of some wind gusts that could be strong to severe, and a couple of these downpours could lead to some localized street flooding. We could see some small hail. The large hail threat is on the lower end, but that's it. This evening is a lot warmer than where we were yesterday. Yes, it's still comfortable, it's 59 degrees, but we're already starting to see those temperatures bumping up, and that's because the wind direction has shifted. Instead of the dry, cooler air from the north, we're seeing the breeze now out of the Gulf. It's light at 9 miles an hour, but repeated hours of this is going to make for a much different Saturday. Here's your almanac for today, so pretty close to exactly where we should be for this time of year. In fact, this morning, we dropped down to 43, which is below average. We should be waking up to 49. Now check this out. We were in the 40s this morning. Tomorrow morning, we're going to be in the 60s. So it's going to feel like the hottest part of today. That's going to be what you wake up to tomorrow morning. 67 in the Heights, 68 in 3rd Ward, 69 Gulf Crest. Loop in the Beltway, mid to upper 60s. A little bit cooler for our northern cities and counties, but overall, it is much warmer and it is much more humid. That is the energy kind of fueling up ahead of this line that is going to bring us the storms, which is why Saturday is in red. For tomorrow, we are going to see the warmest part of the next 3 days. Then as we head into Sunday and Monday, a big drop in temperatures again. So the humidity trend overall is going to be on the lower end. It's just tomorrow that's going to jump up past the comfortable threshold, and that's because of this incoming front that is adding tension. So here's water vapor imagery. The drier air has already pushed out of here, so it's moved on to Florida. And around Salt Lake City, you see this little kink, this little dip in the jet stream. That is your incoming front that rolls in late tonight. One more time, this is what it looks like on Future Track. Low end rain chances for Saturday morning into the afternoon. By the evening, storm potential ramps up. That's a snapshot at 7:30. Late night, that's when the front rolls in, and that's when we have the threat of those disruptive storms. The line right now is timing out to drop to the I-10 corridor by 11:30. Pushes towards the coastline during the overnight hours, and then your Sunday is nice and comfortable, and it is going to be much cooler. Behind the front, we get another shot of reinforcing cold air, and look at these morning lows. So we're back into the low 40s Sunday and Monday morning. I think we break into the 30s as we head into Tuesday. So you are going to need those winter coats. If you didn't get a Black Friday deal on one today, you could do Small Business Saturday coat shopping tomorrow morning, because remember, in the afternoon and evening we are going to turn stormy. Sunday we talked about. Monday we talked about the cold temperatures, but it's another rainy day. This one's going to be pretty dreary. Think about the bus stop forecast and keeping those kiddos dry and bundled up. Tuesday and Wednesday, a break from the rain, and we're back to some showers on Thursday. So a lot going on, Len, in the 7-day forecast. We're definitely seeing a shift in the weather pattern now.
Yes, we are. Rainy Saturday, chilly Monday. Thank you, Kim. Coming up in sports, CJ is back. The Texans quarterback will start Sunday in that pivotal matchup against the Colts.
Dalen and CJ have both cleared the concussion protocol, so we're expecting both guys to participate on Sunday.
QB1 is back for the Texans. CJ Stroud will suit up and start against the Colts on Sunday. After 3 straight practices of full participation, number 7 has cleared the concussion protocol and will be back on the field after missing the last 3 games. Stroud says he began to feel better last week, and if they would have played the Bills on Sunday instead of Thursday, he feels he would have been able to play. CJ is excited to come back, and he's not scared of getting hit again.
I'm gonna just play free, and try my best to trust my instincts and, do what I can and, of course stay healthy, but I want to put my team in position to win. So I'm going to do that and, whatever happens, happens. But, I've trusted I play this game the right way and, I know when to slide, when not to.
And Jalen Petrie has also cleared the concussion protocol and will be back on Sunday, while Will Anderson Jr. returned to practice. He was a limited participant with a chest injury, but D'Amico saying he's fine. Coach also saying they get an impact player back with Petrie's return.
It opens our playbook up, the full playbook. We can do a lot of different things with Jalen. Everybody sees he's been a dynamic playmaker for us, right? Whether it's in the run game or passing game. I mean, the kid flies around. He plays with his hair on fire. I just love watching him play the game of football because he does it in such a relentless way, and he's going to be in position to make a ton of plays.
And the Colts, they continue to not confirm that Daniel Jones is dealing with a fractured fibula injury. So he says he's ready. He's going to play. We'll see Sunday.
All right. Well, you know what that means. Texans will be hunting.
Oh, yeah.
Whoever the quarterback is. We'll be right back. Thank you for joining us tonight. We're back with the news at 10 o'clock, both here on KHOU 11 Plus and on TV. For now, enjoy this moment of Zen. Happy Thanksgiving.